Welcome back everyone, Blue Vision Gamer here playing some Friday the 13th on the PlayStation 4. Now let's take a look what we got here. Activate Blue Vision. Friday the 13th, the game is a survival horror game formerly developed by iPhonic and published by Gun Media. It is based on the film franchise of the same name. It is a semi-open world game with players able to explore it further. Friday the 13th, the game is a semi-open world third-person survival horror game set throughout the 1980s in a variety of locations in and around the fictional Camp Crystal Lake from the Friday the 13th franchise. The game is an asymmetrical multiplayer video game with up to 8 people able to play in one game session. One player is randomly selected to control Jason Voorhees, whose objective is to kill as many counselors as possible before time runs out. Playing as Jason grants special time restricted abilities, including being able to sense nearby counselors and to teleport anywhere on the map. The remaining players control the counselors, who can temporarily stun Jason using firecrackers and bear traps, as well as the various projectile and melee-based weapons that are found throughout the map. The main objective of playing as a counselor is to escape the map alive, which can be done more quickly by completing the map's side mission objectives, which are easier to complete when coordinating with other players. That will allow counselors to escape or to survive long enough until time runs out on the session. So this is currently one of my favorite games, which you can download now off the PlayStation 4 store for free. And I just wanted to make this video to give a bit of in-depth insight how to actually play the game and how some of the game mechanics work. And yeah, so here we have a couple of counselors. You can either play as counselors or Jason Voorhees. Now if you're playing as counselors, your job is to survive. If you're playing as Jason, obviously your job is to kill as many counselors, if all of them. And we have a variety of counselors. I believe there's like 14 different counselors. I'm showing you the counselor selection page now, or menu should I say, counselor menu. Now with the counselors, if you see their name here, like Kenny Rendell, to the right are customization points, and you get a variety of clothes also, so you can customize your appearance depending on how you want your character to look. You can also download new skins, new clothes for real money, but I don't bother with all of that. But yeah, it's all about preference, how you want to look in the game. And speaking of preference, each counselor, as you can see, will come with different stamina meters. Sorry, not stamina meters, statistic meters, different abilities. Now some of the abilities will affect how your counselor can play, such as whether he's got better stealth, or better weapon durability, or better repair, so he's able to repair vehicles and that more quickly. Now depending on how your game type is, how you play, how you strategize and use tactics, depending on how you play the game, you need to prioritize which counselor you want to use suited to your game type. Now as you can see here, we got roll perks. Now when you roll perks, it will cost customization points, but each of these perks you can apply it to your counselor. I believe you can apply up to 3 at a time, and each perk will give you a different ability. It'll either give you it'll either boost up your statistics depending on which perk you've used. Also it might perk up different options on your character without actually affecting your stats. So yeah, a lot of counselors, some are better at stealth, some are better at repair, some are better at composure, being less afraid, and yeah, just apply whichever perks you want to whichever counselor you want. And now, if you're playing as Jason, you get different part Jasons, such as part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, etc. And each Jason comes with different strengths and different weaknesses. Also, each Jason will start off with a different weapon type at the beginning of the match. Now, with customization points, you can purchase new grab kills. Now, depending once again your personal preference, how you like to play, it's best to prioritize and pick which Jason you want for your style of playing. Now, you can apply up to 4 grab kills at a time. Once again, preference, however you like to kill. Apply it to how you want your Jason to be suited to you. Also, I was going to say, the easiest way to unlock more experience, to level up and unlock new Jasons, is to play offline. To verse offline bots, put it onto easy mode and just grind away, killing bots after bots after bots after bots. That's the fastest way to level up, as far as I know. Now, I like to play as a numerous amount of Jasons. Jason Part 3 is particularly my favourite Jason, just because of his overall balance between strength and weaknesses. Plus he can run, and he has an awesome axe weapon. And his strengths are better than his weaknesses. Now, despite I believe this game was a fairly low budget, well, not a low budget, it's probably more higher budget than most games, or some games should I say. Anyway, let's get to it. Pinehurst, 1989. Now, the game begins with an intro of Jason killing one of the councillors, as you just saw, and they just run away then. Now, at the beginning of the game, every match is about 20 minutes long, and you will start off allocated to this little hut. Every time you play as Jason, you will always start off in this little hut. Now, we got knives in the walls, so don't forget to collect your knives, guys, at the start of the game. Knives do play quite an important role in the gameplay, and I'll get to that in a bit. Also, we have a little ritual going on here with Jason's mother's severed head and a jumper and Jason's machete with some random dead guy on the floor and candles. It's almost like a little ritual Jason has going on. Very unusual. Now, these white circles you can see here, which give away the position of the councillors. Now, these are sound indicators. Jason has very good hearing. Now, depending on how much noise or sound the councillors are making, these white circles will indicate just how much noise they're making, giving away their positions. So if you're playing as councillors, guys, try and sneak and walk slower and be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more stealthily, so Jason can't detect your noise levels. Now, this first ability is our morph ability. You place this red reticule anywhere on the map and then you can be morphed to that location. Very, very awesome, sweet ability. Now you can hear the music increase. The music increases into this chase music every time Jason gets into a chase with the councillors. Now you can see the councillors highlighted in red just now. That is Jason's sense ability. Now, with this sense ability, you can detect councillors who are outside, and also councillors who go into buildings. It will highlight the councillor or the building in red. Now you can increase the ability, the sensibility, to be able to detect councillors from much further away across the map. Now you do this by increasing the fear levels of councillors. The higher the fear level of the councillors, the better Jason's sensibility will be able to detect from further away. And you saw us fly across the map just now. That is Jason's shift ability. With the shifter ability, you're able to fly around the map for a short duration of time, making it easier to catch up with councillors. Because some councillors can run pretty fast, even the slow ones are quite fast and hard to catch up with. Also, when you use Jason's sensibilities, they'll enter a cooldown phase. Now during the cooldown phase only lasts a few seconds before you can able to use your abilities again. With the sensibility though, you can activate it and deactivate it as quick as you want. Therefore it'll only enter a cooldown phase for a much shorter time. Now one of the reasons for smashing out these windows are if the councillors are jumping in and out of the windows or climbing in and out of the windows, climbing through the broken glass will cause them to take damage. Now the more damage a councillor endures, the more they will slow down, making it much easier for Jason to catch them. So yeah, try and inflict as much damage upon the councillors as you can, guys. Makes it easier to slow them down. Now another tip is, before actually slaughtering the councillors one by one, is to smash open a numerous amount of doors on each house. Now the reason being for this is councillors will sometimes, or a lot of the times, go from house to house to house. Also knock out these power boxes to render the house into darkness. Yeah, but because they go from house to house, and when you chase them from house to house, they'll close the door a lot of the times and lock it, therefore making it quite, giving them quite a few moments time before you can break down the door. So make sure the doors are broken down first, so you can just run directly into the house that they enter, or you can shift using your shift ability straight through the door and into the house. As you saw there, that was an environmental kill. When you grab hold of a councillor, it will give you the option of using environmental kills depending on where you position the councillor around the map. There's only certain allocated spots you can use environmental kills, but it's a pretty awesome ability and it's fun to use. It gives it more variety.